Hey, dinosaurs sure are cool, aren't they? We've already looked at some of the best games featuring prehistoric lizards on this channel, movies on our film channel, and lamented at how there really aren't enough good dino games around at the moment, naturally with a few notable exceptions. But in the absence of new titles, it's always nice to see some forgotten gems get another chance to shine, and we've definitely got this in the form of Jurassic Park Classic Game Collection. This brand new anthology consists of some of the true highlights from the 90s, covering a variety of consoles from home to handheld. Now I've said all that, but I'm personally not in a rush to pick this one up for one Raspberry Pi shaped reason. So this isn't quite a review of the package dropping in November 2023. However, I have played each of the games featured, so I just fancy talking a little bit about each one. And it's our YouTube channel, so what the heck, let's do it. So join me on a trip to Isla Nublar, or Sauna if you're feeling daring. That's just a little Lost World joke out there for any fans. I do see all four of you there. As we take a look at each game, what makes them good, what makes them bad, and how they stack up today. Jurassic Park 8-bit for NES. What happens? This classic takes us back to a pixelated Isla Nublar. The objective? Survive the dino onslaught and restore power to the park. The 8-bit era was all about simplicity. This game offers a straightforward platforming experience with just a dash of puzzle solving. You control cravat enthusiast Dr. Alan Grant, jumping and dodging your way through levels and using tranquilizer darts against your ancient adversaries. So how does it play today? Well, its basic graphics and sound might be a fossil of the past, but its charm is undeniable. As you can expect from a game of this time, the difficulty is punishing, but it provides a nostalgic challenge for those who appreciate retro gaming. Jurassic Park Portable for Game Boy. What happens? Well, it's similar to its 8-bit cousin, but now with the added portability factor. Again, it's all about survival and outsmarting dinosaurs, and some of those can open doors, so honestly, I'm doomed. How does it play today? With limited graphical capabilities, the Game Boy version focuses more on strategy and resource management. It's slower paced, urging players to think before they leap, or in this case, before they run from a velociraptor. So how to play today? Well, I actually enjoyed the slower pace, despite the lesser graphics. It has an almost survival horror vibe, and it's impressive how much tension and atmosphere was squeezed into such a small cartridge. In the small form factor of a portable device, it holds up remarkably well. Jurassic Park 16-bit for SNES. What happens? With the massive leap forward in both graphics and power afforded by the 16-bit SNES, this iteration takes a much more narrative-driven approach that feels more in the mold of a modern adventure game. You're put through a mix of top-down exploration and first-person interior sequences. And both work surprisingly well, with the top-down exploration almost giving off Zelda or Pokemon vibes. Plus, I don't remember Sam Neill's Alan Grant ever looking quite that jacked, but it's the sort of headcanon I can definitely get on board with. So how does it play today? As you can imagine, it's the best we've covered so far. The increased colour palette, variety of gameplay, and inflated pectorals of our favourite paleontologist all make for a bit of an underrated classic. Jurassic Park for Genesis. What happens? It's another 16-bit take on the Jurassic saga, but with a distinct, kid high on sunny delight flair that only Sega do so well. It diverges from the SNES version by allowing players to choose between Dr. Grant or a Velociraptor. Yes, you can play as the big old 6-foot turkey. The Genesis version is way more action-orientated, with faster gameplay and more emphasis on reflexes. So how does it play today? Its choice of playable characters and faster pace make it a unique experience even now. While personally, I'd prefer to sit down and get comfortable with the SNES version, the Genesis release is far superior for quick plays of Cretaceous-flavoured carnage. Jurassic Park Part 2, The Chaos Continues, 16-bit for SNES. What happens? A direct sequel, at least in spirit, it aims to ramp up the action and the stakes. Released all the way back in 1994, it actually offered a continuation of the story before the equally underrated Jurassic Park The Lost World hit cinemas in 1996. I still see all four of you out there. Consider me number 5. More focused on action than the first SNES game, it moved to a side-scrolling perspective while also introducing strategic mission objectives. You're not just surviving, you've got this whole laundry list of things to do if you want to bring order to the chaos. So how does it play today? Well, it's a solid sequel that makes a good effort to build on its predecessor. The gameplay is engaging, but it can start to feel a bit repetitive after a while. But if you enjoyed the first one, then playing this one is a no-brainer. Jurassic Park Part 2, The Chaos Continues, portable for Game Boy. What happens? Oh, basically the same as the home console counterpart, but made for handheld, obviously. It blends the strategic elements of the first Game Boy title with more action. The missions add this sense of urgency and purpose that makes it more than just a survival game. So how does it play today? Well, it's another decent portable experience, though understandably lacks the depth of the home console versions, and probably doesn't do enough differently to stand out from its predecessor. Not great, but definitely not bad. Jurassic Park Rampage Edition for Genesis. What happens? This game takes a much more arcade-style approach, with fast-paced action and an emphasis on high scores. Rampage Edition ups the ante with more weapons, more dinosaurs, and a more frenetic pace. It's like the original Genesis game on whatever pills they gave to Mr. DNA. Honestly, someone please test his urine. How does it play today? Well, it's undeniably a blast for those who love arcade-style action. The Rampage Edition is a fun, if somewhat mindless, dinosaur romp. So that's what you can expect from each of the games included in the Jurassic Park Classic Games collection. Do you remember playing any of these back in the day, or is there one that you're most excited to dive into? Please let me know in the comments below, I love reading your thoughts. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit subscribe and like this video for plenty more on all things gaming, and you can always visit UpsideDownShark.com to keep up with everything else we've got going on. Until then, my name is Tom, this has been UDS, and never, ever forget to hold on to your butts.